Mr. Vickery, I want to ask you some questions. I mean, I got a lot of questions, but unfortunately, I have limited time. But let me just start off with one. There are stories that about Cambridge Analytica retaining aggregate IQ in order to get around certain British laws. Can you comment on this and perhaps comment on generally some of the outsourcing work that may have been done to get around the laws of particular countries, especially when you talk about foreign campaigns? Kenya is an example also.
What I can say on that is, I there were not, invoices, receipts, things of that nature included in the GitLab repository that I downloaded. So exact smoking gun receipts and pieces of paper saying, we paid this much to this person, that's not present. However, I can clarify my current understanding that is based upon everything that I have read and looked into and believe. An example of money flowing between Cambridge Analytica and Aggregate IQ, a good example is the development of the RIPON platform that was developed during the early time of Ted Cruz's 2016 presidential campaign, where Ted Cruz's campaign believed they were paying Cambridge Analytica for this product or development or whatever service. But in actuality, it was Aggregate IQ that was doing the developing, creating the product, and basically being the workhorse on it, while the checks were going to Cambridge Analytica. So does that give a good example of the flow there?
Mentioned about the cryptocurrency. Could the cryptocurrency be used as the way to hide payment between entities who may be using the information?
The possibility is there. I want to emphasize that I have no current reason to believe that any money laundering has occurred, but I think it is worth looking into.
Okay. I know you produced a report, UpGuard produced a report deciphering Aggregate's IQ's activities. I tried to read the report, but I unfortunately don't know code. Can you kind of summarize the report for us?
Which one? We've put out 4 now.
I think it's the 4th part.
Okay, the most recent one regarding the Canadian politics and such. So that report confirmed the names that are present. It doesn't necessarily mean that because a candidate's name appears in a project that Aggregate IQ is working on, it doesn't mean that candidate was necessarily doing anything nefarious or that anything unlawful occurred. They could have been hooked up with Aggregate IQ through no malicious intent whatsoever. Just somebody suggested them or whatever. But we did see projects with names including Todd Stone, Andy Wells, Doug Klavchuk. The BC Greens had some folders in there. And I believe a lot of this has been sussed out by the Canadian media already, and there should be several articles explaining the various levels of involvement if our reporting didn't give you a good enough view.